Okay, that's the reason why it's it won't record it that way. That's why. Hey, good people. Just waiting on some people to hop on, and just trying to get this camera right. Been fussing with it for the past 10 minutes or so. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Apparently on Facebook Live, which I just learned, is that you can't film in landscape. You can only film in portrait. Good to know. So I just learned that just now. But I am just hopping on to get to get going. I am trying to, here we go. All right, just hopping on. I'm trying to like utilize my iPad more as well so that I can see the comments closer as they're coming up. So hopefully, hey Mel, how are ya? Thanks for hopping on. So I can see it better. Yeah, we'll see. I still don't. Y'all know this whole live stuff. I'm still getting used to it, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm getting better, getting better. Hey, Mel. See, yeah, like I can see Mel from over there, but I can't see Mel from here. Oh. Hey, Mel. See, yeah, like I can see Mel from over there, but I can't. Weird. I just heard myself. I can't see Mel from here. Oh. Okay, let's see if this works. Hello. Saw a few more people hop on. Y'all just watching us just struggle just a little bit. I'm just trying to view my comments closer as someone who's a little nearsighted, so I'm not like having to do one of these cranes. But that still might be the move because I still can't really see it from here. And I'm also learning that apparently you have to turn it to landscape. So I'm just gonna wait literally like another minute for folk to hop on and to see, then we'll just get to talking about spices. So, cause it's fall and as we get closer to the holidays, we cook with spices, right? So spices are very powerful. They're easy to use. They're packed with flavor. They're packed with antioxidants, and they do all kind of really cool stuff. And I'm going to show you a fun fall way to apply our lovely spices, especially the ones we use the most. Because a lot of times, especially in like holiday cooking, you know, and pies and sweet potatoes and all kind of stuff, we, you know, we'll throw some cinnamon in there, but we don't really know what does cinnamon do and what's the best kind of cinnamon to use. Same with allspice. Allspice goes in a bunch of stuff. Do you know what allspice does? Did you know it came from a berry? That kind of stuff. That's what we're going to cover in a few minutes. Okay. Let me know you're here. Let me know. And hey, if you're catching the replay, hey. And you can always, you know, send me a message if you're catching the replay. And we will, and I'll respond if you have any questions or anything like that. Hi there, Lisa. Thank you so much for hopping on. All right, so like I said, today we are going to talk about spices, right? So spices are huge in our holiday cuisine, you know, so we use them in different pies, we use them in drinks, we use them in eggnog and pies, and today we're going to do an apple cider, all kind of stuff. So I just want to show you how the spices that we've been using forever are actually really powerful, and it can do a lot. And I'm going to show you a healthier way, because not that it's unhealthy, a healthier way to drink apple cider. All right. Okay, so let's get started. We're just gonna go over the spices real quick, okay? So like I said, we're gonna do a apple cider, but I'm gonna show you how to cut down on the sugar, cut down on the carbs in the apple cider. I don't know about you, but apple cider makes me feel all like warm and cozy. It makes me think of fall when I sit outside with a blanket and a bonfire. Yes, again, I am that pumpkin spice heifer, so remember. So, cinnamon, let's start off with cinnamon because cinnamon is very popular. People use it every day in oatmeal, not just during the holidays. They use it in their oatmeal, they use it in their cooking, and it smells great. It can be used in teas, foods, everything. Cinnamon. So did you know that there are actually a few types of cinnamon, but the most common types of cinnamon are cassia cinnamon and Ceylon cinnamon. So I'm going to show you the difference. So this is cassia cinnamon. All right, you see it? So this is the cinnamon you're used to seeing, okay? You see how it's really hard, looks like kind of like a piece of bark, right? And it's hollow and it kind of swirls in the middle, right? And you'll see it at the store where it kind of looks like this. It smells really great. Makes you think of fall. I should probably take off the cap to smell it, right? It makes you think of fall, makes you think of spice and holidays and apple pie. Oh yeah, and things like that, right? So this is the most common cinnamon. It is very affordable, which is why it's the most common cinnamon. However, this is Ceylon cinnamon, right? So do you see the difference? So this one is much lighter than the Ceylon. So you see it, you see where it's actually not hollow and it kind of looks like paper, right? Like someone rolled up paper. So Ceylon cinnamon is the healthier of the two. Cinnamon altogether is healthy, so I don't want you to think that. However, Ceylon cinnamon is the way to go because it has less of a chemical that can, if you use it in excess, if you use it too much, because it has, it is in the cassia cinnamon, has more of it. If you use it in excess, it can affect your liver, okay? So, y'all, you know, I'm not good at pronouncing stuff, but Cameron, I think it's how you say the oil or the chemical that's in both of these cinnamons. However, the cassia, the cheaper, the more accessible cinnamon has more of it. So that's why it actually, to me, it tastes better. It has a stronger taste. It's a lot sweeter. It's a little, you know, it gives you that spicy. When you think of cinnamon, you're probably thinking of cassia. Whereas in Ceylon cinnamon, to me, it tastes more floral. It's very, it's lighter in its flavor. And when I cook with it, I actually need more of it. And let's see, this will cost you maybe a couple dollars, $3, $4 of the cassia cinnamon. If you purchase the Ceylon cinnamon, it's going to be about $10 for 10 sticks. I know. So this is the cinnamon that you want to get if you're going to use cinnamon all the time. In this recipe, we're going to use both because it's not something that we drink all the time. We do kind of want that cinnamon, we want that aroma, we want that spicy, we want that strong flavor. So we're going to use both. However, I did want to let you know the difference. Again, this is cassia, easily accessible, much cheaper, still healthy. But if you're going to make a choice, in my house, we use Ceylon cinnamon, which is kind of a little more of a floral, a lighter taste. You need more of it. It's much more expensive, and it has less of that chemical in it where it doesn't affect your liver. And that's one of the benefits of cinnamon is that it helps lower blood sugar and it lowers blood pressure. So we don't want to, you know, kind of work against ourselves with what we're ingesting when we think we're being healthy and it's actually working against us. So that's what the dealio with cinnamon is about. So cloves, right? How many of us use cloves in our cooking? Do we use them in our everyday teas, or do we use them if you're a meat eater? Do you use them on your ham? Do you use them in your sorrel for our Caribbean folk who make some sorrel tea, which is so good? Do we use it for that? Well, I actually use clove a lot weekly. And it's great to lower blood sugar. It lowers blood pressure. It's It's really, really strong smelling, so you don't need a lot of it. What I find interesting about cloves is it's really helpful to, it's really helpful for oral health. So if you are kind of dealing with some gingivitis or some plaque buildup, you can make a quick gargle with some clove tea, and it'll really help assist with that. You can bake with it. Usually it's going to be dried. I prefer you use the dried actual clove versus clove oil, because clove oil it's super potent, and it's been known to, you know, not do well with children. It's a little too strong for kids. I wouldn't recommend it for children under 2 because it's so potent, and the oil it's really potent. So you can probably control it better when you use the actual dried. I think they call it a berry, the dried berry clove. Okay. So again, you can use it in your cooking. You can use it in teas. You can use it. I use it as a tea because it helps with it helps fight obesity. So if you're trying to, you know, you're dealing with some weight loss, it helps with, like I said, blood pressure, blood sugar, oral health. So it has a lot of healthy benefits to it. So I throw a couple in my tea at least once a week. I love the flavor of it. So we're going to use it in our cider today. So that's what clove does. And you can feel great when you use it in the fall on your ham or whatever you use it in. So this is allspice. How many of us, I don't know about you, allspice is one of those spices that your grandma just recommends it to you, and you know, you put it in the pie, or it's just recommended in the dressing or whatever. It's just put some allspice. I never really knew exactly what allspice was. So allspice actually comes from a berry. So it's dried. It's called Pamina desioga. Again, don't try to make fun of my pronunciations, okay? But it's a berry, okay? And they dry it and grind it, and you can use it in cooking. You can use it in teas. Today we're going to use it in our cider, but it helps with a lot. Like, allspice is super powerful. It helps with digestion problems. It helps with abdominal pain. It helps with menstrual cycle, you know, pains, diarrhea, vomiting, all that kind of stuff. Blood pressure, blood sugar. So it's super powerful. You don't need a lot of it. Very strong smelling. A little bit of allspice goes a very long way. So I highly recommend you learn how to cook with it more, and we are going to use it today in our cider. So we talked about our cloves, we talked about our allspice, we talked about cinnamon, which is very important to me. Nutmeg. Nutmeg, again, is one of those spices that we use it in a lot of our fall and holiday cooking. It goes in pies, sweets, all that fun stuff. But again, it's super powerful, so you only need a little bit because it's very strong smelling, very strong tasting. And nutmeg is great for a lot of stuff. It actually helps your metabolic rate. So it helps you with weight loss. And again, it's full of antioxidants. All these are full of antioxidants. It's full of antioxidants. It helps fight cancer. It does all this super cool stuff. So allspice, we're going to add that to our beverage today. And ginger. I know y'all know about ginger. So ginger, my grandma, my paternal grandmother loved ginger. She used it for a bunch of stuff. So ginger helps fight inflammation. It helps with digestion. It's one of those things that, you know, in a lot of, in the body, there are herbs that cause, or spices that cause your body to be cold, and there's some that cause your body to be warm. Ginger is a warm causing, and which means it helps fight inflammation. So ginger is amazing. All of these are amazing. And one of my favorites is star anise. So star anise, that's what it looks like. I know y'all probably seen it in like cute little pictures and commercials and all that kind of stuff. So I've been using star anise for a long time. And what I really like about it is it smells really good. It kind of has like a licoricey smell and taste. So you do not need a lot of any of these. They're very potent. They go a long way. So you just probably need maybe 1 or 2 if you're going to do like a mug of tea or something of star anise. I think it's really cool looking. It's really pretty. If you're nursing, it helps with lactation. And if you're sick, if you boil it in a tea, it helps with the flu. So we're going to use all of these in our apple cider demonstration with a fun little addition surprise at the end. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your apples. I would recommend, usually when I made this, when I tested the recipe, I did it with 14 apples. That makes a huge pot. So I'm going to show you the size of this pot so you have an idea how big. A huge pot this big, okay? 14 apples. If you don't need that much, if you're not entertaining, then cut the recipe in half, okay? So 7 apples versus 14. So I'm not gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna cut all these up, but I just wanna demonstrate to you just how we go ahead and make this cider. It's very easy, very quick, especially if you have an instant pot. You can do it in maybe a half an hour. If you don't have an instant pot, then you can do it in a nice big Dutch oven pot like I had, or just a nice big pot that closes tightly. That's the most important part. So you go ahead and get your apples. I recommend getting a variety of apples. So this is a pink lady. This is a gala apple, and I'm sure like most of us have gone apple picking. You know, their apples are available, you know, because apple season is well underway. And so you get a variety of apples. I usually do gala, pink lady, and golden and delicious. And you might throw like a Granny Smith in there if you want a little bit of sour, but I did all sweet this time. So you go ahead and grab your apples, make sure they're clean. Again, we scrub and soak them in baking soda water because apples have a lot of pesticides. So they are part of those dirty dozen. So please, please, please clean your apples thoroughly, okay? Because they have skin and the pesticides really stick on there. Organic apples if you can. So get your apples. You're gonna cut your apples into nice, big, kind of earthy chunks. They don't need to be perfect. You're just getting them in your bowl, which will go into your pot, okay? So you're make them nice and big, and you're gonna do, again, I did 14 to make that really big pot, but if you don't need that much or you're not entertaining that many people, you can go ahead and cut the recipe in half. And then, hey, Melissa, how you doing? Hey, Cameron. So yeah, you can go ahead and put it in there. Here's some cores. I'm gonna put those there. So you're gonna repeat that with all your apples, okay? You're gonna put them all in there. You're cutting them in nice big chunks, okay? And you're gonna get an orange. Again, same process. Make sure you're soaking, make sure you're scrubbing, make sure it's clean, okay? You're gonna go ahead and just slice your orange up. So for this recipe, you can use 1 to 2 oranges. I recommend 2 because I kind of like that. Ew, this orange isn't that great. I recommend using a couple oranges. So usually the apple cider, they only call for 1 orange. I like to use a couple. So I usually cut one up to put in the cider, preferably a big navel orange. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just slicing it to get it into the cider. So you slice it, you're gonna put it in here. All right. Magically, this is about 7 to 14 apples all cut up. Because I already made my big old batch. So I'm just showing y'all how to make it. So you are going to add, if you're going to do the 14 apples, it's a full tablespoon of allspice. I'm going to make applesauce with this later. You can do your nutmeg, again, 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon of ginger. And 1 tablespoon of clove, okay? So if you're gonna do the 7 apples, you would cut that in half. So just, I think it's 3 teaspoons per 1 tablespoon. So it should be 1.5 teaspoons if you're gonna just do the 7 apples, okay? So I like mine a little cinnamony. So I do about 6 to 12, depends on how big my pot is. If I do the whole 14 apples, I do about 10 cinnamon sticks. Yeah, I know. If I'm only doing the 7, I'll do about 6. Okay, good. My connection was super sketchy for a sec. So you put it all in your Instant Pot and you let it cook for 15 minutes on pressure cook, okay? It's gonna come out super soft, kind of mushy, and then you're going to get, let me show you. I wanna show you what I used. You're going to get a masher. So you can use a mashed potato masher, or this is an avocado masher. But I used a avocado masher after it's come out of your Instant Pot for 15 minutes. It's gonna be nice and mushy. You're gonna go ahead and mash it to release those flavors, okay? Skin and all, everything in there, your orange. So you get your cheesecloth. I apologize, I thought I had it near me. You get your cheesecloth, remember this from last time, our mesh bag? So you get your mesh bag and you strain the apples, the mushed up apples, the mushed up oranges, everything, you strain it, okay, into a nice big bowl or basin with your mesh bag, okay? And so there should be no chunks in it after that. So once you do that, you have your cider. Yay, right? Now, this is where the point where people would add all the sugar. So in a cup, 6 to 8 ounces of apple cider, no sugar, it's about 30 carbohydrates because it's liquid, you know, so it's going to increase your blood sugar pretty fast. It is a juice. It's super powerful, so it does have a lot of health benefits. But if we are watching our glycemic levels, if we're watching our blood sugar, we don't want to ingest quite a huge amount of pure fruit, you know, fruit juice all at one time. So here's what I do. I do not sweeten it. I do not add any extra sugar to it because the fruit is fine. It's a white tea. It's decaffeinated, so you don't have to worry about any caffeine issues. And it helps. It's even more effective in weight loss than green tea. So drink up on the Rubio's tea. So I'll boil me some Rubio's tea and I'll pour the rest of it in here. Or I will take some hibiscus pods. Okay. So do you know it's dried, or you can buy them fresh like I did, okay? And they're all around in the fall time. So you go ahead and boil. I boiled 3 of them and about a cup of water to make a tea. Did not add any sweetener. And this is what it comes out looking like. Isn't that pretty? Look how pretty and pink. So you added the rest of the 4 ounces to your tea. You do your Yukon syrup, which I told y'all about last week. This drink, I did the monk fruit. And that is a way you can garnish it with a cute little cinnamon stick. You can put a little orange slice in there if you're trying to impress somebody. And it's super cute. Oh, it's really good. So it's really good. It still has that apple cider taste. Really spicy because we had the spices in there. And the hibiscus, it just does something, honey. It was so good. The hibiscus really adds kind of it rounds out the fruit taste. So, you know, with apple cider, you have that fruity taste, but it's really spicy. But that hibiscus just really rounds it out. And it's delicious, very well balanced. I love it. So, and you just added extra antioxidants into your apple cider. So you cut down the sugar. You're enjoying your fun fall drink. You have all the cool awesomeness of the spices. You have all these antioxidants fighting cancer, it's fighting blood pressure, it's fighting blood sugar, all that stuff. And you get to be cute and drink your fun little tea in the fall. So let's see. Hey, Lulu. It's okay. We're making apple cider. Yes. So yeah, so she just asked about the hibiscus pods. And again, they're just literally flowers, and you wash them and boil them. That's it. Now, I will say, do not boil them long. Okay, so I have an electric tea kettle. It goes from just cold water to boil in less than a minute. Do not boil it long. Do not let it sit there for hours. Just once it hits boil, take them immediately out. Because if you boil them too long, it'll get bitter. And you'll use that nice kind of pretty floral taste. And it's not like a floral taste like jasmine or anything. It's definitely, it has some fruit notes in there. So that's what I really like about the hibiscus. Do y'all have any questions? Y'all have any questions about the spices? All this cool stuff. So that's why our grandparents and all them was living so long, because they was like doing all the cinnamon and the allspice, and it was fighting all the stuff. That's what happened. And now we know. So do y'all have any questions? Okay. So let me know, okay? And don't forget, when you do your cider, do a variety of apples. So here I just used Gala and Pink Lady. You can use a variety of apples. You can use any of the apples that you want. But apple cider is one of those drinks where it's delicious, super healthy, especially if you don't add the sugar, but it is literally pure juice. So we want to go ahead and cut that down. You have powder. Hard to find the pods. It is hard to find the pods. How can you use the powder? The hibiscus powder, the same way. Same way. Just follow the instructions. You can sprinkle it in your cider. So I would add water instead of like the actual tea. Add the cider halfway through, the water, then the hibiscus powder. Okay. And I'm not sure what the measurement is on your box or cup if you have it, but it's probably like a teaspoon. You can go ahead and add it and swirl it in and add your sweetener. And this is one of those drinks, because there was a while when I was really good and super strict, I didn't need sweetener. This is one of those drinks that you don't even have to add sweetener after you add the hibiscus and the cider and all that. You really don't need it. Even when you do the Rubios. The Rubios, you don't need the sweetener if you don't want to add it. Because some people are really cool and they like the no calorie sweeteners. And some people are kind of weird about them, which I get, because the jury is still out research-wise what it actually does, because they're still rather new to your body. I haven't read, and I've done extensive research. I haven't read anything that says anything bad so far, but I know there are people who are still a little sketchy. So I don't blame y'all. It's okay. And for this drink, you don't really need it. It just kind of adds that extra oomph to it. You can, of course, add the Yukon syrup that I highlighted last week. You can add that to it. It's only 7 calories for a teaspoon, and I think maybe 3 carbs. So you can go ahead and add that too if you prefer like a syrup, because again, if you do the honey or the agave, as great as they are, they're still sugar. So if you're trying to watch your sugar intake, then I would omit those. And this is one of those drinks where you can do that. And so yeah. Oh, and I did want to tell y'all, so when you make the cider and you're like, well, I'm only using a little bit and I got this big pot of cider, you can add the same amount into a smoothie. You can add the same amount as pour it in your oatmeal. You can freeze it and into ice cubes and add it to a tea. So there's all kind of really cool things you can do with your cider if you have plenty of leftovers. You can freeze it as a batch and then pull it back up for Thanksgiving and pull it back up for Christmas. So yeah, you can do all kind of really cool stuff with it, and you don't have to worry about, I'm drinking pure fruit sugar. Do y'all have any other questions? Awesome. Well, in case you don't know how to find me, if you are new, this is Try It Thursdays. And this is where we try new stuff. I'm LB Morris of LB Morris Consults. I'm a certified health coach. I am a nutrition educator, so I love to teach what I learn, and I am also a faith-based nutrition advisor. So yeah, that's what I do. I help people become their healthiest and well selves. So whatever that means to them, if they are on a health journey of weight loss, I help them with that. If they are on a journey of fighting a chronic disease, I help them with that. I just help guide people through their health journey so that they can do what they were meant to do in the wellest and healthiest way. So thank y'all for joining me. We just tried a fun new recipe, a fun fall treat that cuts down on the sugar. And please, please, please join me next week where we will do the same, trying a fun recipe where we will try it out. It'll be something new. And yeah, thank you for coming to Try It Thursdays. And if you think of any other questions after the live, it's okay. Just go ahead and message me. All right? Go ahead and contact me on my website or my page, LB Morris Consults on Facebook. I'm on all the platforms, Twitter, all that. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I will be launching my YouTube channel tomorrow. And so I will be releasing a new recipe in the form of like a blog post or a video every Tuesday. I'm going to call it Tasty Tuesdays. And so we're launching that tomorrow. I'm going to launch the intro video tomorrow. So please look out for it. I'm excited. So make sure you're looking out for Tasty Tuesdays, where I will release a new recipe every Tuesday, and Try It Thursdays, where you and I try new things. Okay? So thank you for being on this journey with me to becoming your healthiest and well self. And I will see you next Thursday. See y'all later.